Hello, history lovers! Today we will be exploring the rich past of Upton House. If you are fascinated by history like me, or even enjoy a good ghost story, you are in the right place. Stay with me as we uncover the secrets and mysteries of this estate in Poole in the southwest of England. We will start with a deep dive into the rich story of Upton House, share some of the intriguing stories about its rooms and former residents, and wrap up some of the most famous ghost stories of the house, focusing on the intriguing Lady and White. And trust me, the final ghost story is one you won't want to miss. But if you are fascinated by history, love curiosities about places, and even enjoy a good ghost story, please hit the subscribe button here for more content like this. Now let's start with its location. Upton House is part of the Upton Country Park, located in Upton Town, southeast of Dorset, and to the north of the Poole suburb. The exact origins of Upton House are somewhat unclear, but it is known that the site has been occupied since the medieval period. In the 19th century architectural surveys, it seems that part of the 17th century building was retained in the current house, parts like the domestic offices. The stunning late Georgian mansion was built between 1816 and 1818 by Christopher Spurrier. But who were the Spurriers? They are a big part of the house's history. The Spurrier family's connection to Upton House began with Mary Beale's marriage to William Spurrier, prominent figure in Poole's Newfoundland fishery trade, who bought the land after inherited his family's money. Later, his son Christopher Spurrier inherited the estate and built Upton House at a great expense to impress his father-in-law, and despite his ambitions, Christopher's lavish spending and gambling led to his financial ruin, and he eventually had to sell the house in 1828. Alright, but just a reminder before we talk about the next families and the house's current situation, don't forget to stay until the end to hear about a spooky story. In 1828, Sir Edward Doughty, originally Edward Tichborne, purchased Upton House from Christopher Spurrier. Edward changed his name as a condition of the inheritance from his cousin Elizabeth Doughty, who hoped that he would have a son and continue the Doughty's line. The Doughty family, among the oldest and wealthiest in Hampshire, added significant features to the house, including a private chapel, which would be dramatically changed later on. Edward Doughty built Poole's first Catholic church on West Quay Road in gratitude for his daughter Catherine's recovery from illness. Furthermore, the Tichborne family had a dramatic chapter involving an impostor claiming to be their lost heir. But its story is not directly related with Upton House, so I will skip it, and if you would like to know more about it, you can search as the Tichborne Claimant Mystery. Entering the 20th century, the Llewellyn family took ownership of Upton House in 1901. William Llewellyn and his family made several changes in the house, including converting that private Catholic chapel I mentioned before into a dining room with a unique Welsh Tudor fireback. This change was made due to the family being Church of England and not Catholic. The Llewellyns were active in the local community and ultimately gifted the house and 55 acres to the borough of Poole in 1957. Following the gift from the Llewellyns, Poole Corporation sought ways to maintain the estate. Subsequently, Prince Carol of Romania became a tenant, but instead of maintain or improve the house, the locals watched the place decaying. It wasn't until 1976, with the formation of the Friends of Upton Country Park, that the house and grounds began to be restored for public enjoyment. You can find more about the Friends group in the Upton Country Park website. In 1976, following the completion of Upton Bypass, Upton Country Park became safely accessible to the public. On top of that, a public meeting in February 1976 led to the formation of the Friends of Upton Country Park. Miss Margaret Mary Llewellyn, sister of Lord Llewellyn, was the first president until her death in 1983. The park was officially opened on 15th of May of 1976 with an investment of over 18,000 from the council for basic facilities. The Friends focused on clearing grounds, laying paths, and fencing dangerous areas, providing voluntary wardens and assisting the council. Later, the Friends became a registered charity set about formulating ideas to raise money. They have achieved significant improvements to the park over the years, including restoring and equipping Upton House, which was opened to the public in April 1982. There are so much to do in the park. You can go for a walk or cycling, and your dog are welcome here. They have a walled garden where you can have a chill and fun day with your family or friends, a tea room with cold and hot drinks and a variety of foods for those who didn't bring a picnic, and much, much more. Visit their website for more information. The park is free entrance, only needing to pay for the car park. You can see Upton House from the gardens and have a good time around it, or you can go for a visit inside on its open days. You can check the specific dates on this website on your screen. You will pay a very small fee for it to help the Friends to raise money for the park, and we'll go for a nice and chill tour around the ground floor with a volunteer telling the history of the house and its room. This park definitely worth a visit and is even better on spring and summer days. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, the chilling tale of the Lady in White, Upton House's most famous ghost. Thank you for watching until this point. Now let's go to the fun part, or creepy, scary part, depending on your point of view. Upton House has a few spooky stories, like a haunted bedroom where guests reported feeling watched, experiencing temperature drops, strange noises, and sightings of a ghostly figure at the foot of the bed. The ghost of Christopher Spurrier, the house's builder, it is said to wander the corridors, especially near the west wing he added in 1825, reflecting his lavish yet troubled life. Other stories reported unexplained footsteps,
doors opening by themselves, and strange distant music, believed to be the spirits of the former residents. Over the years, visitors have reported a ghostly figure wandering the gardens and the main entrance.
Described as wearing a flowing white gown, this mysterious lady is often seen gliding across the grounds, with her presence marked by a sudden chill and overwhelming sense of being watched.
Despite her ghostly appearance, the lady in white is seen as a peaceful presence, which adds a haunting and captivating element to Upton House's legacy.
If you have enjoyed this journey through Upton House and want to see more, subscribe to see many other videos about historic sites and their ghostly tales coming soon. And if you have any suggestion for future videos, please leave a comment below this video. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep exploring the past.